We are classed as zero carbon footprint.
It just raises the whole issue of recycling. It's been amazing.
I've been quite privileged to be part of it, really.
When they first approached me, I think I nearly fell off my perch, so to speak.
I don't think he could believe the amounts of oil that we were talking about. I think it completely bowled him over.
And Jason told me I needed to produce twice as much as I was already producing. I went, what am I going to do now?
And we were talking somewhere in the region of 45 to 60,000 litres a month, so it's a huge amount of fuel.
We're off to Terry's Cafe to deliver some oil and collect his waste oil for processing into diesel.
He ain't here yet. He will be in a tick.
Thank you.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good, Joe.
Yeah, not too bad.
Ready?
Yep, I am indeed.
That's my waste oil. Yeah, he takes it and he drops me off a fresh one. Works for them and it works for me.
A very old friend of mine was telling me how he ran his car on recycled biodiesel. I'd never heard of it, didn't know anything about it. And I said, how do you make it? And he said, from cooking oil from the local pub. I just thought that was an amazing thing to do. We had a business here in London and we were already supplying pubs and restaurants with various products. And I came in on the following Monday and I said to Nigel,
Do you think we could do that? So I sort of went back to my school day chemistry and said, well, yeah, I reckon I could.
and we bought a tiny little reactor and we made a few hundred litres of biodiesel and that was it. And from there, bigger things, you know, basically came on.
It was important to us to reduce our carbon footprint year on year. That's important for our staff and for our clients. And I think we've got a moral issue, as I say, as a large company, to lead by example. As you go along and more buildings are involved and you look at the size of your energy bill, which is going up and up and up, start looking at the costs of landfill and of waste, you're constantly being asked to look at reducing the cost of these things. And when you start looking at that, you start thinking of the waste that you're producing all the time. And certainly for me, you kind of looked at it and thought, well, surely I can use some of that waste in a much more sensible fashion.
This is where the used cooking oil is produced, and by the chefs and all the kitchen staff here. So it's produced and used here, and when it's finished, Ben, you remove it.
We decant it, and we've got a waste oil storage area where we keep it in big drums.
That's the stuff, that's what we need. And also used cooking oil. That's a waste product, which we now can use for fuel. So the more you use of it, the more energy
exactly,
we've got.
Yeah.
We're recyclers. We supply vegetable oil to pubs, restaurants, catering establishments, anything from the local fish and chip shop to the local cafe, to the American Embassy, to pub chains, on the basis that we can get the waste back here. So everything we bring back is recycled.
This, up until recently, has been a waste product. Raw oil comes in here and literally within 24 hours it's being sold onto the streets, and it just goes through a very simple process that's called transesterification. There's good fuel.
I heard it sort of amongst the taxi fraternity. It's cheap, and it's good for the planet.
So it's all locally sourced oil. We then recycle it into biodiesel, and then we deliver it to PwC, which is, I haven't measured it, but all in all a 10-minute walk from here. So it really is the most sustainable way to heat and produce power for an office building.
This is a tri-generator, so it produces electricity It produces heating and it produces chilled water for our air conditioning system. What we have here at the top of the building is the 2 exhaust pipes from the tri-generators in the basement. Both of them are running today, both are running on 100% biofuel, and as you can see, there is very little or no waste gases coming from there at all, and certainly no pollution. So carbon-free technology. To see the generators running away knowing that they're using all the waste product is a fantastic boost. When they run it at full capacity, we'll produce 25% of the building's electricity, which is all of the lighting for the building and all of the small power. So they'll be charging laptops, mobile phones, Blackberries, so it's anything to do with the workspace. All our staff want to look around the building, they want to understand how the building works, they want to understand how it operates. They're pushing all the time for even more sustainable attributes that we can build up all the time. They really do love it. This clearly has made a huge jump for us. This is the first building that we went as far as we did, as far as the sustainable features.
We're a part of it, and I think an important part of it, but if everyone can get together and do more, then it will be, you know, a big answer to all the problems in London and cities. And there's no reason why, for instance, we're doing it in London, why Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow, and then you go abroad, Paris, etc. I mean, you imagine all the frites fried in Paris. What happens to that oil? They should be recycling it and turning it into fuel.
From where we started fueling a couple of our own vehicles, we've sort of gone leaps and bounds. Like 150 litres a day to 6,000 litres a day. I'm just waiting for the next challenge, really.
What's important is to actually look at what is the carbon footprint, what is the energy consumed, and how can you actually reduce that. So actually meter it, read it, and reduce it. And I think they're the important things, and that's the real passion I get. It's about actually being able to say, at the end of the day, or the end of the week, or at the end of the month, this is what we consumed before, this is what we're consuming now. And that doesn't matter whether that's waste, or whether that's paper consumption, or energy. All of those things can be measured, and they can be reduced, and then you actually know what you've really produced and how you've really helped the situation.